In last video, I did a bunch of 1-minute drawing challenge. A lot of them are pretty embarrassing and bad, but there are some interesting ideas. So today I want to see if I can pick some and make them into better art. So let's give it a try. Okay, maybe not this one. Not this. Not this. This one is simple, but I quite like the composition, so I'll start with this one. I'm going to use Sketchbook to try out some design. I can keep the original design, but just add some colors to make it more interesting, but I think I can do a bit more than this. Let me try some other shape. I want to use the vertical strips to indicate the rain. This is interesting, but I want to try a different position of the umbrella. And this time I'll try not to get it dirty. Apparently I forgot to draw the bunny. It's like the umbrella strangling him. This one won't work. I'm thinking to paint this in acrylic, so poster color would be a really good medium for me to experiment with because it's also opaque. This color is so cute. I like pastel colors. I think I'm going to go back to the original design to try to make the house more interesting. So what if I just do a bunch of bubbles? I mean, I just want something to cover the bunny. I don't need it to be a house or anything. I think they're all missing something that like out of ordinary, something weird and something surprise you, so you have to take another look. I think my favorite one so far is this one. So I went with a completely different design. I'm starting with the background. Forget about making it looking dry. I just want something interesting. Now I have to wait until it dries before I can put on some texture. Okay, this is dry, so I'm gonna put on some texture. But this is the first time I'm doing this texture thing, so let's hope this works. I don't know why it's lumpy. I guess there's some dry stuff got mixed in there. But I guess it just adds to the texture. So let's just say this is intentional. Oh my god, is this gonna work? I hope this works. I probably should mask the little bunny, but this is too late. Oh my god. Okay, let's try this. This is the tool I'm using, so it's a scraper. Crap, I scraped too hard. It scraped off the bottom piece, maybe. Sucks. But otherwise it looks pretty good. I think I can touch it up. This is so hard, it definitely needs some practice. I think what's important is to put on the first layer really smoothly. And I should keep cleaning my scraper and not just leave it like that. I think I should redo this. This is way too lumpy. I don't know if you can see that. This actually looks pretty good. It's more like rain than the pattern. I'm actually quite glad that the texture didn't work out, because with the scraper, the texture is actually quite pronounced, so it makes the background pop too much. It almost feels like I have to have my main character even higher. So I decided not to go with that, and instead of making some geometric shapes to indicate the rain. And luckily I have all those tiny little like thin strips of washi tapes that I got from Japan. These are actually too thin, so I used these ones. And I think it looks quite nice. This is what it looks like now. I really like how the background turned out. It's much nicer than the texture I was trying to do, which is a huge mess. This is nice and clean, and I like how the geometric shape represents the rain, but also sets in the background nicely. I ended up putting a crocodile here instead of gazebo or the umbrella as something unexpected. So the poor little bunny can stay dry, but could also be eaten anytime. I know the bunny is kind of small comparing to the size of the mouth, but it's just cute, isn't it? And I really like the color scheme. It reminds me of watermelon. So do we think this is better than the original 1-minute drawing? Let me know in the comment. Okay, let's find another one to do. Let's do this one. This drawing is pretty bad, so maybe I should try to make it cuter. I quite like the idea of having flower as her eyes, so I'm just trying to put this back in. But it looks like she's crying. Okay, maybe she is crying. Don't know what's going on, just lots of flowers apparently. Does it look good? Dress can be multicolored. This is pretty interesting, but I want to see if I can come up with some other idea. Wow, where is her body? This is a bit creepy. I think I want to do something non-human and something cute. The challenge for myself for this one is not to draw a character, because for the longest time in the past few years, I've always been learning anatomy, trying to draw figures. So whenever I don't know what to draw, I draw a face, a figure. I'm really happy that I was able to draw a dog this time. He was inspired by the anime I recently watched called Space Brothers. It's a really nice anime. I highly recommend it, especially if you're interested in space. I'm on episode 78. There's 99 episodes in total, so there's a lot more to enjoy. Yeah, so there's a pug called Apple in the anime, which is super cute. So it inspired me to draw this one. The reason I put the flower here is because I had a Labrador mix in the past. The shape around her butthole is a star, which is super cool. So I'm like, why can't it be a flower? This wooden cradle is really thick, so I put the same yellow color all over the edges. I really like the color combination. I think it turns out really cute. It's very different than what I usually do. So do we think this is better than the original 1-minute drawing? All right, let's do one more. Okay. Let's just go with this one. I quite like the composition because I want the bubble to be the main focus of this drawing. So maybe I'll make the bubble even bigger. Maybe it's all the way to fill up this canvas. I want to draw something in here, but this is too wet. I won't be able to draw it until it dries. So let me think of something else. What if the person is inside the bubble? But how does it even work? Run out of space to draw body. Okay. No. Maybe only the lips are kind of outside the bubble. The theme could be living in a bubble. Like you blow up your own bubble and you got your little cars. That's you with your dog, little house. I really like the struggling face, so I think the key is to figure out a way for this person to be in the bubble, but blow this bubble from inside, if that makes sense. Of course it doesn't, but let's try. I finally figured out how to blow a bubble inside a bubble, which is to have the lips sticking outside the bubble and just to have the bubble here. The look makes most sense to me, composition-wise, so I'm sticking to this. Because the board was really slick, so it's really hard to put down an even layer of the paint. And the blue is pretty transparent, so I had to do multiple layers to really get to this even and solid look. But it is a really opaque look. It doesn't have the depth that I wanted. The middle stage was really ugly when I just have the blue background and the yellow bubble. It almost made me want to give up. But I'm glad I finished it because on the flip side, this richer, stronger blue made the yellow bubble really pop. And with the characters and all the items in there floating around, the composition, the color just balances a lot better. So I think overall, I'm still pretty happy with how this turned out. Do you think this is better than the original one? I actually quite like this 1-minute drawing, although it's really rough, but it has that looseness and the abstract look and the energy. Maybe I could make this into a painting and maybe add some words into the bubble. All right, these are the 3 paintings I did with acrylic. They're very different than what I usually do. And if you follow me from the very beginning, I've been doing watercolor anime in the past few years, and I slowly got better at it. But recently I found that it was very, very limiting because there are so many new materials I want to try, new things I want to draw. And if I just stick to it, it's just really limit my growth. So I'm going back to a beginner mode and exploration mode. So hopefully that I can truly find my style. Some people might not be happy with the change, and because I recently didn't do any watercolors. If I always stay the same, eventually my stuff will be boring. The channel needs to evolve. I need to evolve, and we'll see where this takes us. All right, like this video if you like it. This will really help the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye.